In IPv4 Internet Protocol version 4 addressing scheme, this is a 32-bit scheme. In order to compute or find out the network address and the broadcast address, what is the way? So let us take a question. What would be the net ID or subnet address, that is the network address, and the broadcast address? So the IP address is given as 130.45.34.36. These are all in the dotted decimal form. Similarly, we have a mask also, subnet mask you call it. So with using these two, how can you find out what is the net ID or the subnet address and the broadcast address? So in order to get this, you have to know that how do we convert a binary into decimal and decimal into binary. That is the first precursor or presumption when you actually go about solving this kind of question. So the first step is to convert this IP address and the mask into binary. Because in the further step, you have to convert this binary back again to decimal. Okay. So in order to recall that, I know that you know how to convert this binary into decimal. Let me tell you how do we do this, just to recall that. So how do we do this? Very easy steps I am going to tell you. You can, because one octet is 8-bit. So let's have 8 bits here. This is 8-bit. All these octets are 8-bit. So I am giving an example of 36. The way this 36 will be done, all others you can do. So I am dividing a box into 8 parts. The first one is corresponding to 2 to the power 0, that is the number 1. 2 to the power 1, that is 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 square is 4. 2 cube is 8. 2 to the power 4, 2 raised 4 is 16. 2 to the power 5 is 32. 2 to the power 6 is 64. And 2 to the power 7 is 128. Now, if you want to know what is the binary of 36, how do you compute 36? 36 can be computed using 32 plus 4. So you just have to see these numbers: 32, 1, place 1 here, and then 4, place 1 here. Others just keep 0. This is the conversion. 36 decimal has converted into binary. That is how we have computed and converted it. All other values will be computed or converted like this. Now the next step. What is the next step? We have to AND these two. The IP address and mask have to be ANDed. So in AND, wherever you have a 0, you will always get a 0. Only when you have 2 ones, you will get a 1. Alright? The AND truth table says, whenever we have a 0, these are 2 ones, so you will get a 1. But wherever 0 is there, a single 1, single 0 or a double 0, you always get a 0. Alright. So this is how it is done. And then finally, whatever value you get, each octet is converted back into the decimal value which I just told you. I told you how to convert the decimal into binary. You have to convert it back in the same way. So this reverse of this process you have to do. So this will be the resulting network address. So the network address is computed by ANDing the IP address and mask. First you have to convert them into binary and just AND them. AND is simple. Wherever there is 0, you will get a 0. Wherever there is both ones, you will get a 1. So now this is how the network address will be computed. First step. The second step is asking about the broadcast address. So how to compute that? You have to do the OR. OR, the truth table is saying, whenever we have a single 1 or a double 1, you will always get a 1. The 0 is only coming when you have both the participants as 0. But OR is to be done with whom? We have just found out the network address. So you just convert this, or whatever you already converted it. So that network address has to be the first value. And the second one is the inversion of the mask. That is 1 to 0, 0 to 1. So the subnet mask has to be inverted. That is 1 to 0, 0 to 1. Network address you have found out, that has to be kept same like that. But the subnet mask has to be inverted. And then you have to OR these two. These two has to be ORed. Odd is what? Whenever you have 2 zeros, you will get 0, otherwise you will always get a 1. So when you OR them, you will get certain octet values, and then these octet values, that is the 4 octet values, has been converted into final decimal. So again, OR is 0, 0 will give you 0, 0, any ones will give you 1. Then you have to convert this into actual decimal, this inversion of the process I told you. That will be the broadcast address. Okay? This is how you have to find out network address and broadcast address from IP and mask.